is to talk about question most common was the question that was proposed to us was common tenant questions that tenants have. We rent. We see a lot of people going in and out of houses. Um, we get a lot of list of questions. Kaylee is our property renter, so she's the rental manager here for Merritt's, and I'm sure she gets a ton of questions. So I'm going to start on mine because I love stealing what Kaylee was going to talk about. So she has to come up with some of her own questions, and hopefully she doesn't say ditto at the end of it. Um, so let's start working on there, and maybe we can ask Olivia um, if yeah, she probably won't answer. So let's get going to the common questions. First question we get a lot is, can we paint a house? Paint the inside of the house, obviously not the outside. So we say no on painting. No, you really can't paint your house inside. We have a lot of our rentals have the same finishes on the inside, so when you leave, it's easy for us to change color. To basically touch up. It would be less cost on you if you all of a sudden you had a tenant that started painting when they leave to paint a full house. It could be $5,000-6,000. So never paint the inside of a house. That's something we won't like. Very rarely do we allow that. Very rarely. So I would say no on that. A lot of questions that I've seen is, can you plant a garden? I mean, that's a common question. Hey, I want to go outside. I want to plant a garden. I have no issues with that. You want to go plant a garden? Go ahead and plant a garden. If all of a sudden, we go to the house and the whole backyard is a garden, you're probably going to be charged for getting it back to lawn because not everyone is a green thumb, likes to plant or take care of it. I have a small little planter box in our house, and I believe it's overgrown. So I'm not good at it. So I would say if somebody wants to plant a garden, I'm okay with that. It's kind of your house, enjoy it. So people spending time outside, making it feel like it's their own. I'm more than happy to accommodate that. But keep in mind when you do move, that the garden needs to be kind of put back to regular grass. So seed and straw is probably something that we would require on that. Can I hang something on the walls? That's a common thing. Can I hang stuff on walls? We allow stuff to be hung on walls. We do have on our leases. There's a $300 reset fee that we charge tenants when they move out. So that covers like little nail holes and if you hung up a TV, it kind of takes that because we do go back to all of our units and we do address them. Very rarely do we have a unit that we don't touch up with paint. So yes, if you wanted to hang stuff on walls, we're okay with that. If you're looking at hanging up the whole hallway full of 1,000 pictures, I'm going to say that $300 reset fee will probably not cover it. If you hang, 1,000 pictures everywhere throughout the house, you're probably going to be charged for that. So some of those stick-ons, those stick release, I'm trying to think of what they are, the 3M stick releases or whatever. Some of those are good. Some of them will leave marks. It's just the residue. It kind of goes through the paint and you can then see all these marks. So we'll have to adjust that with paint and stuff like that. Um, ooh, another thing. Can I get a roommate? Can I have one of my buddies move in? No, no, you can't do that. We check our people. We have background checks. You can't just move someone in. They have a felon. If they're a felon, if they're caught stealing a bunch of stuff, if those are the tenants we really don't want in our rentals. I know people change and stuff like that, but some of the rentals that we have, we want people to be comfortable around us. So we want to kind of have a reputation of getting better quality tenants and keeping the houses nice. That they're not worried that there's a kid out there, or heaven forbid they're on a predator list or anything like that. Um, what is something else you got something you want to add, Kaylee? Are utilities included? Is the Wi-Fi included? Is the water? Is the electric? Very rarely is that stuff included. We do have properties that the water, sewer, and trash that's included in your rent. So there are some properties that have that, but very rarely. A majority of our properties, I would say 90+% of our properties, you pay your water, you pay your sewer, you pay your electric, and you pay for your internet. So that's something. Most of the times when you see water sewer connected, it's more of shared services, or if they have one meter and they eventually converted a house to 17 units that they only have one meter running on it. It's hard to divvy that electric. So all of ours are separate meters on each unit, and that's something that we have. Another thing, Angie brought it up. See, Angie's not even on here, and she's bringing up questions. Snow removal and grass cutting. That's something that's very good. No, majority of the time, if it's a duplex, if it's one of the shared units, we do cover grass mowings. Snow removal, we have just one place that we provide. That's our senior center down in Lynn. That's the only snow removal of sidewalks and stuff like that that we offer. Everywhere else, they're required to plow their own street, not street. I'm going to back it up. They're going to have to plow their own driveways and sidewalks. So Angie's looking at me like I'm. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, roads are obviously covered. Lively View, Springfield. If you have a house on Lincoln or whatever, those roads are always covered. But yeah, when it comes to actual driveways and sidewalks, we have one set of units that we have. Another question, I wouldn't say a common question. It's kind of a statement. I've seen it before on Facebook. People's like, "Oh, the landlord takes 100% of my security deposit, never gives it back." Um, you know, Sometimes that happens. You have a house that's completely tore up and, there's paint everywhere. They got holes. I mean, we had one just recently that we had a hole in the wall. It's like, well, we're going to have to charge for the hole in the wall, and stuff happens. I mean, kids get a little rowdy, someone gets mad, they put a fist through the wall. We don't like that, but um, stuff happens. So yes, we do charge for that. But I would say, I'm going to say probably a majority. I'm going to say a majority, over 50% of our tenants, we give deposits back, partial, full, it really just depends. We just had three move out within the last week, and we gave back 100% of two of them. And one of them, we took some money off and they got probably 75% of it back. So yeah, it really just depends on your how the house is left, how it's cleaned. Clean your house. I'm going to tell you, when you leave, if the house is not clean, it's immediate. We're going to charge $400 or $500 for the house clean. I mean, Kaylee knows, she contacts our cleaners. They're expensive. For them to come in and, yeah, clean up a stove, clean up a fridge, clean up. So all that stuff is very, very, it's costly. So we're going to pass that cost on to you if it's not clean. So I would thoroughly get it cleaned. Whether you hire somebody to clean it, yeah, yeah. So I would highly recommend you clean the house before you move. Um, Olivia, is anything that you can think of? She's not there. Like here, of course, standard response. So okay, so we didn't talk anything about political. So I'm going to ask, how long do you think the government shutdown will be? I would like everyone's opinion, including Angie. So we are on day 2 weeks. I know I'm talking political. I don't care. I think we're close to 2 weeks on this government shutdown. Question of how much longer do you think we'll be on government shutdown? And I'm not going to go first. not that long. 3 days, 2 days, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Okay. Olivia, she is not helpful. Olivia, I need a date, a number.
I think it'll last as long as the other one did. So 35, it'll be 36 days.
30. Angie says 36 days. Kaylee says a week or two. Olivia says she doesn't know. So I am going to say it is going to be another 7 days. That is my prediction. Another week. Did she say anything? She's not saying anything. I am. Tell her I'm still waiting on her. She ain't gonna answer. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay. Thank you for all for joining our live. Kind of went off kilter here a little bit at the end. Questions? Call us 636-584-3065. A rental, if you want to look at our current rentals, Kaylee. Perfect. Thank you all for joining. Appreciate it. Talk soon.